Okay, what's going on, people? Ronan MMA here, back with the second video of the day. Um, this afternoon, we're going to be talking about the shocking new allegations that have came out against Conor McGregor from a woman who spent some time on his beautiful yacht, and she alleges that he, assaulted her essentially, and that she had to escape in quite dramatic fashion. But before we get into that, I would greatly appreciate it if you could like and subscribe. It would help me greatly. I'm trying to get to the point where we can monetize this channel. Obviously, I'm new to this. We've not got a lot of subscribers, so every single one helps. And if you leave a comment on my video, like, I'll always reply to you and all that jazz. But please don't steal my content. Please just subscribe. It's just one button, real easy, simple. I've got some thoughts on this that are going to be different from most MMA YouTubers that have put out a video on this already. So, be a little, we'll be different here. And we've got the hair just flowing because it's looking luscious. No hair tie around here. No beanies either. Okay, that seems to be a theme in the MMA YouTuber world. But so, yeah, Conor McGregor has had some allegations come out. A woman whom he apparently knew from back in the day. Most of the information I'm getting, by the way, is from Jesse on Fire's video, which is probably not the most accurate source, although he did show sources in his video, so it's not like I'm just taking everything he said, as truth. But a lot of people are going to come at this from the perspective of whether or not he's guilty, and it's kind of like there's two camps here, right? If you're a Conor McGregor hater, possibly a bit of a soy boy, who knows, a little bit of a little cuck in there, you'll probably jump to the conclusion immediately that he's guilty. And if you're a Conor McGregor dick rider, then you're going to do the exact opposite, and we're going to see strong defense, similar to what we're seeing with the Andrew Tate situation. So I don't want to talk about that, but full disclosure, I am not the biggest Conor McGregor fan. I've always thought that, he's got some witty one-liners and all that, but when it boils down to it, he's really funny because of his accent, Anything sounds funny when you can talk like this, and you just talk like that, and it's just how you talk. Any fucking thing can sound funny. And I'm a bit nasally, so my impression's not the best today, but you know what I'm saying, dude. Shit sounds funny when you're Irish, and it is what it is, dude. They've got like a I don't even know, dude. They get like a, Jesus, I'm drawing a blank, but you get what I'm saying. It's a little easier for them, the whole comedy thing. And but what I want to talk about is how the two camps, I think, are both wrong to do this, right? And I'm coming at this from the perspective of somebody who has, unfortunately, been the victim of a pretty heinous assault and had to deal with all the legal situations, right? Like, the two camps essentially will be like, either, like I said earlier, either he's guilty or he's not. And I think that when there is an allegation, I understand the whole innocent till proven guilty aspect, but people have a proclivity to then, like, assume, I don't know how to articulate it properly, but I think that when there's an allegation, you should remain agnostic in either direction, because an allegation is enough to warrant, like, an investigation. And until there's an investigation, nobody really knows what happened. And again, I'm coming at this as somebody who's, unfortunately, dude, when I was 14 years old, I'll probably do a video about this in greater detail when I have more subscribers, or if anybody even wants to hear it. But when I was 14 years old, I had the father of another student who had a problem with me show up to my school with 3 grown men, all wielding batons, like the telescopic ones that the police use. And They jumped me and they beat me for, a couple minutes or whatever, or maybe it wasn't a couple minutes. It's hard to keep time when that's happening, but I do know I took quite a few whacks from those batons across the back of my head, the top of my head, all over my back and body as I did curl up in the fetal position. I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for those meddling kids. Some kid tripped me, some fucking douchebag that I didn't even really know one way or the other. And yeah, dude, and it fucked me up pretty good, right? Like I got a brutal concussion. I had a broken nose from directly, immediately after the beating happened. The father, barked orders to get off me so that I could then fight his son, and he thought that it would be more fair that way. I guess he was very skeptical of his son's ability to get in a schoolyard fight. And as his son was attacking me, I was wearing a Joseph Adai NFL jersey that was quite large. And so I was trying to take it off because, everybody back then wanted to dress like a wannabe gangster, right? So I was trying to take it off so I had full range of motion. I did train kickboxing at the time, and I was fully confident. Even after being rocked, I was like, I can fuck this dude up. Somehow I didn't get KO'd. Maybe being on the ground helped that. But when I got hit on the top of the head, I immediately knew. It was almost as though I could taste it. And I just thought to myself, that was not a fist. Like, that was metal. That was not a foot. That wasn't nothing. And, but I was still confident. I was like, I'll fight this guy fine. So I go to take my jersey off. He comes up, cracks me across the nose 2 times with nice clean hooks. Hey, gotta hand it to him. Bit of a sucker punch, but it is what it is. So from there, I clinched up because, I was already rocked. And then getting cracked twice across the nose didn't help matters. Clinched up with him, did an outside trip, and thankfully landed on top. I passed his guard and went into mount because I had also been training some just general MMA ground tech. Like most of it was Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but we were drilling takedowns and all that stuff at my school there that I went to for martial arts. I'm not, and yeah, passed his guard. And I don't know if anybody's ever experienced this, but when you're in a dream, you ever have this feeling? If you're getting in a fight in a dream, and for whatever reason you just can't move, like something is holding you back, whether you're trying to hit somebody or you're trying to run or whatever. If anybody's had that feeling, let me know in the comments, because it is fucking scary. And it's even scarier when it's happening in real life. So I was on top of this guy, full mount, after I had just been fucked up by his dad's buddies there. And shit, I couldn't punch him for the. I don't know why I could not just muster up the strength to land a punch, and it was driving me fucking crazy because I was like, I'm on top of you, and I know I can do it, but I couldn't. So shit, I go to stand up, like I was faking him. I go to get up, and then he goes to sit up because he doesn't know how to escape properly. Fucking idiot. So then I I just let all my weight go into a big knee, and I got him square on the nose, and then he fell back, hit his head on the back of the cement. He was okay. Fucking don't worry about him. While that was happening, the dad, one of my friends who was actually an adult at the time himself, he used to referee my lacrosse matches. Never very nice guy. Sorry, a bit flustered here. I haven't told this story in a long time. He tried to stop him because the dad was actually like getting involved and starting to throw kicks and was getting quite a bit more aggressive. And so, and also, everybody knows these. We all knew each other from sports and school and all that stuff. So my buddy grabs him and eats a headbutt for it. Had to get 2 root canals on his front teeth. And I stood up, and the dad comes up to me. This was after I kneed his kid in the face. He comes up to me, he puts his arm around me, around my neck and shoulder, and he goes, are we all good now? And I looked at him and I said, fuck no. And then another one of my buddies you go get those motherfuckers. And he slammed a can of bear mace in my chest. Fuck, I wish I could have gotten that safety off, man. I could not for the life of me get that fucking safety off. Too disorientated. Couldn't figure it out. Gave it back to him, and I fucking bolted. And I went back into the school. I forgot to even mention that because I'm all... This happened outside my school at 3 p.m. As soon as the bells rang. I went back into the school and I said, hey, I need some ice for my head. And I was in pretty rough shape, so they were freaking out, the staff. Obviously, a 14-year-old kid. And at the time, I thought I was so fucking grown. And everybody does. But I wasn't. I was a kid. I've got a 10-year-old now. He is 4 years from that. If somebody did that to my 10-year-old, you know, or even in 4 years, if somebody did that to my 14-year-old. So anyways, right. This was back in the day when filming on cell phones was a new concept, dude. You had to have like a Crazer or you know what I mean, to film this shit. Thankfully, a couple people did. So I didn't want to press charges because I was a crazy fucking teenager and all I wanted was revenge. And I realized that probably wasn't going to happen. The cops were already involved. They told me, we don't need you to press charges. We are. I need your statement. And so this was at the hospital. I was like, fuck you guys. I gave them my statement because my parents were like, you fucking have to. And sorry, I just rambled for like 12 minutes. But long story short, right, we ended up having to go through the court system. And I hate calling myself a fucking victim, but I think calling yourself a survivor is cringe as fuck. So I ain't doing that shit. By definition, victim of a crime. Whatever, okay? Fuck. Going through the courts is extremely frustrating because the whole time you're thinking, why the fuck can they not just lock this guy up? There's videos. There's 100+ witnesses. He humiliated me in front of literally 100 classmates, girls that I had been friends with and shit like that. Why can't you just fucking lock him up? You know what I mean? There's enough evidence. And then I've got to go and testify for an entire fucking day with his defense lawyer, who's usually defending guys like Hell's Angels. So he is fucking tough, okay, to deal with. And you got to be quick and sharp. Thankfully, not to toot my own fucking horn, but I made that guy about as red as a goddamn tomato during his cross-examination of me. He did not like me one bit. And eventually, you just watch charge after charge after charge after charge get dropped before the trial even fucking starts, right? And you're just like, for fuck's sakes. And it's super frustrating. And he ended up getting convicted and going to jail for a very short period of time. So I fucked his ass in civil court later. I really hope YouTube doesn't fuck with this video. I've sworn a lot more than normal, but my heart is racing like 100 miles an hour. I don't even know how in my brain I'm connecting these two situations, but all I'm thinking about is I understand how frustrating it can be as legal term, a complaining witness. I also understand the need for a stringent judicial system like the one that we have in the North Americas, okay? They're not perfect. Innocent till proven guilty is the best way, though. And there should be a large amount of evidence in order to take somebody's freedom away and lock them in a fucking cage, right? And I appreciate that as an adult now. But at the time, I was enraged and I fucking hated it. The whole point of this is whether or not you have a bias on whether or not you think he could be guilty or he is guilty, or, you know, he's had so many fucking allegations and when there's smoke, there's fire and all that shit. Or you're on the other side where you're like defending him to the death when you have no fucking idea what happened. Remain agnostic. Be objective. Look at the facts as they come. Just because he's your favorite fighter doesn't mean he can't do shit wrong, dude. Separate the art from the artist, so to speak, right? He's a martial artist. As a fan of MMA, MMA is like one of my fucking favorite things in the world, dude. Besides my kids and my wife, it's the only sport I watch. It's the only real media I consume. I watch fucking MMA YouTubers like in my spare time. This shit is, it consumes me. I love it. And as a fan of the sport, I understand what Conor McGregor has done for the sport. That doesn't mean that he can't do bad shit, dude. And anybody making the defense of him, oh, there's people after money coming for him, all this shit. You're unironically making the same argument that dumb fuck Brendan Schaub makes for every famous person that he's friends with that gets accused of doing something wrong, improper. The most recently the Logan Paul shit. He's talking shit, saying haters this and that. Dude, CoffeeZilla is not a hater. The dude exposed him. He was scamming his fucking fans. It is what it is. Just because someone's successful in a monetary sense or fame, it doesn't mean that they can't be a bad person, dude. It also doesn't mean we should just jump to conclusions, though. This lady's allegation is enough to require an investigation. And then we deal with it as it comes. And, dude, to be quite honest, man, I've got a bit of a bias. I kind of feel like what I said earlier, where there's smoke, there is fire, typically, right? And I'm not saying that she's the smoke. I'm saying that all the other allegations, all the other shit that he's done, punching the old dude in the bar, throwing the fucking dolly through the bus window, all the shit that he's done, dude. Not to mention, he is explicitly almost like openly said that he's doing steroids. He is retired so he can be removed from the USADA testing pool. I don't know if any of you guys have watched fucking More Plates, More Dates. Dude, he goes over Reddit threads about guys taking tren and shit, and how all of a sudden they decide that they like getting pegged by their girl, or they want to watch their girl get railed by another fucking dude. This shit does crazy things to you. And like Jesse on Fire was saying in his video, he was talking about cocaine specifically. He gave an example of a friend that he knew who kind of lost his shit because he drank heavily. I know a guy almost the exact same situation. I didn't gut punch him though. He did, I had a friend, big dude, started using, and then he would drink heavily. The guy he was like 350 pounds. He could down a 2.6 and a few gulps of Smirnoff. It was utterly disgusting. I never understood how he did it. This was in high school, by the way. I was 16. He's 17. He used to nonstop, and then started because it was easier, quicker, cheaper, all of it. And one night we were over there, and it was almost like how this lady is describing and how the DJ described it, where all of a sudden they flip switches. That's real, dude. This guy was one of my best buddies. I'd hung out with him almost every day after school. He lived right around the corner from my mom's place. We'd walk home, smoke up, play Call of Duty, whatever the fuck, right? We were hanging out at his house. There were a few people there, including women. So thankfully, he came after me. Flipped, switched, all happy. Nothing wrong. All of a sudden, dude's fucking coming at me. Bum rushing me, okay? This guy's 350 fucking pounds. If I hadn't been somebody that trained and knew how to leverage weight properly and all that shit, he would have fucking mowed me over. And I would have been on the cement with a 350 pound guy on top of me. Who knows the damage he could have done. Instead, I clinched up with him. Outside trip. I like that shit a lot, apparently, hey? I don't know what it is about it, but it's just easy to do when people don't know what the fuck they're doing. He ended up flying because he had so much momentum. He went flying into his parents' garage. Huge dent in it. Fucked the door up. I went, I'm out of here. But he had been drinking and doing so, flip switched. And that shit happens. I've seen it, and that's not the only time I've seen it happen. I might go into I've got some crazy fucking stories, dude. If I get some more subscribers on here, every 100 subscribers, I'll tell one of my crazy stories. Because I don't know about I don't know about you guys, but the town that I came from, you started doing bad shit at a very young age. So I lived like a whole fucking adult life from 14 to 17. Whoops. And thankfully, I had my first child when I was 17 years old. Hadn't even graduated high school. And whipped me in shape like that. Graduated high school. I was living at my own apartment. Bus to school myself every fucking day. Paid my own rent. Paid all this shit with legal money, which I was not doing previously. Okay. I smartened up because of that. And I've got some crazy fucking stories, dude, that I can probably tell without totally incriminating myself. Not to mention I was a youth, so who gives a shit? I don't know how we got here with the video starting off about fucking Conor McGregor and these new allegations. I'm not gonna take a deep dive into them until there's more information. Basically just using this for clickbait, eh? Like and subscribe, dude. Come on. Best hair in all of MMA YouTube, without a doubt. Fuck the MMA guru and his hair that he hides under his little fucking beanie, dude. He ain't got nothing on this shit, okay? So, point being, dude, remain agnostic. Don't be one or the other. False allegations do happen. Real allegations also fucking happen. And not every girl's a liar. I don't believe all women, but I definitely don't not believe all women. And even if it was a guy, dude, don't not believe all victims or complaining witnesses. That's the proper term as of right now. You know, it's the same shit with the Tate shit, dude. Just sorry, I was drinking a Monster before this shit. Can you tell, dude? Remain agnostic. Try to be as objective as you can. And again, just because he's your favorite fighter and he does amazing things in the octagon and he has taken this sport to a whole new fucking level, right? And I'm extremely respectful of that, and I am appreciative because I love that the sport has taken off the way that it has. With all that being said, dude, separate the art from the artist. If he's done something bad, he's done something bad. You know, there's not enough to say for sure yet, but again, I said my bias. Where there's smoke, there's fire. You can only have so many allegations before one of them's true. I mean, this kind of happened with Bill Cosby. I don't know, man. Anyways, like and subscribe. Don't steal my metaphorical eggs, right? I live in rural BC. It's been snowing all day. No one's showed up to my egg stand today, but if you do on here, please just subscribe. Easy peasy. All right, I'll see you later. Probably tomorrow morning. There's a few fight announcements we got to do videos on. Ta-ta.